huge, huge 2 weeks. Let's see if he can follow up today against Virginia's defense that's much improved from last year.
Virginia won the toss. They elected to receive. So they want to give Brennan Armstrong in this offense an opportunity to move right down the field right from the jump. Dominic Seuss is going to kick off for the Monarchs. Toe meets leather, and we are underway. Mike Hollins lets it bounce into the end zone. Touchback. Cavaliers will get it. They're 25. Mention the records for Brennan Armstrong. He's just 254 yards and 4 touchdowns from surpassing Brandon Schaub for the all-time passing and touchdown passing mark in Virginia history. He already has the all-time total offense mark that he set last year.
Yeah, and 10 of his 11 games he played last year, he had over 300 passing yards, so he could get that today. Only needs 253 to pass him.
Fake to Paris Jones. He's going to throw immediately, and he's going to go to Wicks downfield. Wicks is covered too well, and the ball falls incomplete. Well, that time Tobias Harris had a bead on Wicks. Yeah. Harris, no slouch himself. He had 17 interceptions playing for Division II West Texas A&M before transferring to ODU.
Yeah, and these are the type of plays these were completions last year. You see that concentration by Wicks at the end. He had the ball. It was a good adjustment, but those are the types of plays that Wicks has to come down with. You got to help your quarterback out when he's struggling.
Again, the fake to Jones. Going to go to Wicks again. Same exact play. Overshoots him.
Wow. And, Wicks had 2 receptions last week. He was targeted 14 times in that game. And, again, we talk about the offensive line for Virginia. They're young. They're inexperienced. However, there was enough time on those last 2 throws for Brendan Armstrong to really get the ball out there. So, he's got to connect on some of those deep passes. And now it brings up 3rd and 10 where you're forced to throw the ball deeper. Keep your eye on number 99 in the slot towards the bottom of your screen. That's Keaton Thompson.
Instead, they'll run the football to try and pick it up on the ground, and Hollins is close, and he'll make it. Last week, Virginia, Mark, 0 for 16 on 3rd down, so they finally convert and move the chains. That's a good sign on this first possession. Armstrong will run it. Design draw. Makes a defender miss. Slides down after a gain of 8.
And this is what he can do with his legs. We mentioned, here we go. Here's the run play on 3rd down. Just using that right side of the offensive line. A good zone scheme. Good run by Hollins. Hollins is a guy he really started his career here as a kick return guy. And then he was a pass catcher out of the backfield. Now he's kind of an all-purpose back for UVA.
Hollins lining up in the backfield, takes the handoff, bumps into his own man. Doesn't pick up anything on the play. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, nothing. And we saw that big run on 3rd down, and Tony Elliott wants to get the ground game going. You kind of saw a tale of 2 weeks. Versus Richmond, they had 262 rushing yards on 42 attempts. Then last week versus Illinois, only 42 rushing yards. And that's just not gonna get it done in this Tony Elliott offense. Now on 3rd down and 3, you got to look at the top of the screen. That's a man-to-man. That's Wicks. Single coverage with the whole field.
And Thompson in motion. Armstrong looking that way. The 2 receivers run into each other. He's going to have to make it on his own, which he can do, and he does. Tyree Bibby on the stop, but a little commotion and confusion for Virginia doesn't really seem to affect Armstrong.
No, and the wide receivers, you mentioned, they bumped into each other. It was just a slant flat. Good job of jam on the outside, but those are the types of things that have been holding back this offense from being explosive and from being consistent.
Jones on the carry. He picks up 8 yards. Armstrong to throw. He has Wicks open, undershoots him, had him wide open. Well, that's something we didn't see much of at all last year, Mark, and we're seeing a lot of that this year.
Yeah, you know, again, it's a bad throw, but it was also a bad route combination. Two wide receivers ended up running the same route and were right on top of each other. So you had three wide receivers. Watch Wicks and watch the two guys up top, Keaton Thompson, Lavelle Davis. They're running the same route. So there's no one covering Wicks, but you got to get the ball there and you got to run the right play.
Another first down as Hollins moves the pile. So Virginia has not had a whole lot of luck throwing the ball in this first drive, but they're using the running game to pick up first downs.
And it kind of feels like they have to run the ball right now, right? Just, again, super early in the game, super talent out there at quarterback, at wide receiver. They just haven't clicked in the right way yet this season.
Fake to Hollins, gets it out to Thompson. Can't escape the clutches of the defender, finally brought down R.T. Johnson, one of the captains of this Old Dominion Monarch team, out of that free safety spot, hanging on for dear life, making the stop.
It's going to be interesting to see how they get that man, number 99, Keaton Thompson, the ball in this game. He was, you know, talk about his nickname, Trickback. He did everything. He was a running back, quarterback, tight end, wide receiver for this Robert and I offense last year. They want to get him more involved because I think he is the key to the offensive success for this offense.
Armstrong to throw in the pocket, has all kinds of time, gets it out to Thompson. Flag on the play, let's check it out as Thompson made the catch inside the red zone. He may have an illegal player downfield for Virginia.
Downfield, number 44, offense. He was covered up, 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Gary Patterson is our referee today. That was the call, illegal man downfield.
Let's see if we can see late in this play. So they must have called that 44, the tight end. Sackett Wood was covered up by a wide receiver. Yep, there you go, 44. So he was covered up by a wide receiver. That's a wide receiver's fault. You got to know that you're off the ball and signal that to the head line judge on the sideline.
Armstrong to throw, quickly out. Can't hook up with Lavelle Davis. First time we've mentioned him on this drive. Big receiver who was hurt last year, but really exploded on the scene as a freshman back in 2020.
Yeah, in 2020, I mean, he was second in the FPS in terms of yards per catch. He averaged 25.8 yards per catch, and you know, he didn't run a lot of those stop routes, right? It was like, you're 6'7", go, we'll throw you some jump balls. But he's got to develop those, and you know, that was a very catchable ball thrown by Brendan Armstrong.
Third down and 10. Wahoos 3 for 3 on third down in this drive. Monarchs bring a little bit of pressure, but it's picked up. The Wicks drops it. Wow. I mean, it's just, whatever it is, Mark, that's something we just didn't see all year last year.
No, and you know, it's funny. I had a note on my game chart from last year. Wicks struggles with drops at times. Now, last year, he corrected. You know, he got better at it. But I mean, this year, I mean, we've seen twice already in this game, the ball has hit his hands and fallen down. Now, it's going to be important. How does Brendan Armstrong communicate that with his wide receivers, get with them, build their confidence up, or correct routes, however he needs to do that. But he has to do that as a leader of this struggling offense.
Daniel Sparks into punt for Virginia, looking to pin the Monarchs deep. End over end kick. It's going to sail inside the 20 and out of bounds near the 10. Let's see where our official marks it. Right at the 10. A Monarch defense stymied Virginia after they got some stadium. There's a good look at Old Dominion head coach Ricky Ronnie in his third year, although technically just his second season because 2020 was canceled because of COVID. It's a team that came out in 2022 and all they did was upset Virginia Tech to start the year. Took an L last week against a really good East Carolina team. Now trying to take care of yet another team from the state of Virginia, and we get whistles right away.
Offside. Defense, number 94. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And Hayden Wolf did a nice job with his cadence and drawing the defense offside. There's a good look at Hayden Wolf, the redshirt sophomore from Venice, Florida. Big kid, 6'5", 235 pounds, put on about 20 pounds in the offseason. Watson in motion. He'll get the carry. Looking for a crease, finds a little one, picks up about 4. It'll bring up second down and a long yard, maybe 2.
Yeah, Hayden Wolf, you mentioned putting on some weight, and he looks the part. 6'5", 235-pound redshirt sophomore out of Venice, Florida, and he does such a good job against zone coverage, especially of looking off safeties, of getting the ball to his wide receivers.
Now a little sweep to the tight end. That looked like that might have been Isaiah Spencer, rather, on the receiving end.
Yeah, and you're going to see action from all 3 of these tight ends: Isaiah Spencer, Dante Anthony, and Zach Kuntz. Zach Kuntz, kind of the all-star that you're looking at, 6'8", 251, number 80 on the field. But all these tight ends will get involved. Watch Kuntz right here. See if he comes back across, get a block on the outside end.
Keeping it on the ground. Watson ran into a host of tacklers led by Jonas Sanker. Picked up maybe 2.
Jonas Sanker plays at home, grew up here in Charlottesville. Had his first forced fumble of his career last week. Really good player at that spur position. Earned his way onto this field, a starting position.
Virginia brings a little bit of pressure. Watson picks up about 3 or 4 more. Jameer Carter from that nose tackle spot making the stop.
Yeah, in this run offense for ODU, they're going to use not a lot of motions pre-snap. However, they're going to use a lot of guys motioning across the ball and into the line of scrimmage post-snap, where there's tight ends coming across to get blocks on defensive tackles, whatever it may be. Now, 3rd down, you got to look for number 80, top of the field in the slot.
Wolf to throw, pressure up the middle, gets it off to his tight end. There you made the call, Mark. And Kuntz makes the catch, and they'll move the chains.
Well, Zach Kuntz only has 2 catches. That's his 3rd catch on the season. He had 73 receptions a year ago, which was 2nd most in the country by a tight end. And, I mean, at 6'8", 250, he runs routes really, really well.
Wolf checks the sideline. Watson in motion. Man, we've seen a lot of that. Watson, good yardage on 1st down. Give him 8 yards. Josh Ahern from his middle linebacker spot makes the stop.
And there you see it again. Whether it's a zone seal, whatever you want to call it, there's going to be a tight end coming from one side of the ball back to the other side, and it forces the linebackers and the safeties to adjust their run gap fits. Now with both tight ends creeped up a little closer to the line, look for play action pass on 2nd down. See how those tight ends, the helmets are kind of touching the rear ends of the offensive tackles? Oh, there he goes back across again.
A lot of room to run. 1st down and a lot more into Virginia territory. Watson pushes the pile down to the 31. 20 yards on the carry before the safety, Cohen King, was able to bring him down, but big chunks now for the Monarchs.
Yeah, and watch the tight end. Comes across the ball, and it's run fits. That's where you have to have good communication between linebackers and safeties. And this ground game from ODU is just moving the ball down the field. Again, same formation. Same play.
Give to Watson. 4 yards on 1st down. Why fix it if it ain't broke?
Yeah, and Kevin Reener, the offensive coordinator for ODU, watching the past 2 games, when something works, they're going to keep running it until it's stopped. It was a deep crossing play to Ali Jennings that got him to be the leading receiver in the country. They ran it over and over and over again versus ECU. Now they're running this zone seal play over and over again and see if UVA can stop it.
Watson shaking up just a little bit, ran off under his own power. Tariq Sims now at that tailback spot. Wolf to throw, pressure from the edge. Ball loose, and it's picked up by Virginia. That's Chico Bennett.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting call. whether that ball was coming forward in terms of a pass or if Hayden Wolf was trying to pull it back into his body. And right here, you see the ball, it's coming forward. They're going to look at that in the break. We'll tell you what they come up with when we come back.
Michael Webster, our replay official right now, as they look at this last play that was ruled a fumble on the field, and the question mark really here is whether Hayden Wolf was throwing the ball.
Yeah, and I think he was. Look right here. This is kind of that old tuck rule situation. As long as the ball is intentionally moving forward in the quarterback's hands, and then this exact situation, the ball ended up slipping out, that will be ruled an incomplete pass, and it'll be ODU ball. Good pass rush by Josh Ahern, just ran over the running back. But either way, third down now. Let's see if Virginia ends up bringing some pressure. Again, try to rattle Hayden Wolf.
Tariq Sims continues to be in that tailback spot. 3rd and 6. Give to Sims.
Wow.
Close to the first down. I think he's going to be a little shy.
Yeah,
completely 2 yards shy.
A little shy, but depending upon how confident they are in their kicker, see they're going for it on 4th down. Let's see if they try to draw them off sides or if they just go quick.
They're going high snap. Wolf brings it down. Depends on the mark. He's not going to get it.
Stopped him. Wow.
Tariq Sims was dropped short by about a full yard.
Yeah, and Jonas Skinner, came off the edge and did a good job of just finding his way to the ball carrier and getting him down. And that was a big stop for Virginia's defense, which we mentioned earlier. They are much improved. You see, look at number 20. There's Jonas right there. Good job getting him down.
Had to make that tackle, too, because there was a good push on the right side of the line.
Exactly.
So both teams, Mark, with a little success offensively, but no points on the board in their first drives.
Yeah, driving the ball down, getting another field position in the opposing team's territory, but you're right. No points due to some drops and then good defense at the end by UVA.
Second opportunity for Virginia on the toss sweep. Tough yards by Xavier Brown. He's still going into Monarch territory before finally being pushed out of bounds at about the 40.
Ah, well, welcome to collegiate football. Xavier Brown, 5'9", 185-pound true freshman. Little wrinkle in this offense. The quick pitch out of the shotgun. Man, he's running good. Good job breaking those tackles and moving downfield. And Virginia, looking for that running back. Ronnie Walker, who was maybe slated to be the starter, got hurt in the spring. Good job by 20.
Thompson, that's a pass. Inside the 25, stays in bounds, dropped at the 20, 19 yards.
And that's why he's not just a wide receiver. He's as close to a slash of a Cordell Stewart type that we see in college football right now. Actually, the game plan for him last year under the Bronco Mendenhall coaching staff was like a Taysom Hill. 'Cause Mendenhall coached Taysom Hill when he was at BYU and developed a similar type of package, but you see the versatility of Keaton Thompson at 6'5", 220 pounds, making guys miss on the jet sweep.
Staying on the ground. Paris Jones, give him 2 yards. Jason Henderson makes the first of what promises to be a number of tackles today from his linebacker spot.
And you talk about injury for Old Dominion.
Samori Morrison, who's injured, the defensive end. Saw Henderson walking off after making the tackle. We'll check in on Morrison when we come back.
Is presented by Subway. Try the new Subway Series menu. Your pick of 12 irresistible subs. And in part by Duke's Mayo, the only condiment with twang.
Monarchs got him again. Second time they've beaten Virginia Tech in the last, 4 years. First game of the year at home, beat them 20-17. And those are their first two, those are their only two Power 5 wins to this point. Look at Paris with a lot of room inside the 5, dropped it to 3.
Nice burst and nice hole by this offensive line. That left side is a good job, and Virginia's going fast.
Gonna keep it on the ground. Jones trying to wiggle his way to the goal line. Just got about 2 feet short. Henderson again with the stop. Second down and goal. They're gonna want to go quickly again.
If they just do the same play again.
They do. Jones
stopped again.
Reaches the ball out. Can't get there.
Stopped again. Wow, now it gets interesting.
This time Ryan Henry making the stop.
Interesting.
Third down and goal as Mike Hollins comes in to spell Paris Jones. Armstrong looking for the call, coming close to the sideline.
I think they're going to look at that again to see if the ball did, in fact, cross the line. Jones did a good job of kind of laying out flat. I'm not sure exactly. It looked from just watching it live that it was short. Let's see. Nothing down yet. Nothing down yet. That elbow. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's going to be right before he reaches that right arm out. Yeah, it should be just short. In that case, if it is just short, it's going to bring up third down from the 1-inch line, and you tried the up the middle run a couple times. Let's kind of see what if this offense has in their package for Brendan Armstrong to get up under center. I know when Tony Elliott was in Clemson, they had that as a part of their offense, but who knows if that's translated over here to UVA. It's a good look at Elliott.
11 years as an assistant under Dabo Sweeney at Clemson. Running backs coach, offensive coordinator.
Yeah, we talked about, we asked him about some of these running backs too, especially Paris Jones, because Paris Jones wasn't even on the depth chart last year. He was a guy who was a walk-on here at UVA.
3 carries in his first 4 years here in Charlottesville.
Yeah, and I turned on the film to watch what does UVA look like this year, and
All right, Gary Patterson, ball placed on the 1-foot line.
Yeah, but I'm watching film. I'm like, okay, number 2. Like, he must have transferred in from somewhere because he was running with purpose and power. And no, he was there on the depth chart. And good for Tony Elliott to find him and bring out the best in him as that running back coach.
All right, so now Mike Hollins in there.
Yep. You got 2 tight ends in the game as well.
Give to Hollins.
They might have stopped him.
Big push at the end. Does he get in?
Big push. Yeah, that second effort got him across that line.
Yes. Head linesman nearest to us with the signal, touchdown. It took him a while. He wasn't getting there at first, Mark.
No, you got to keep those feet pumping. That's what Mike Hollins did. That initial stop right there, but the push continued. See 65, Jonathan Leach. He dropped down to that knee right there, but then gets him behind and just pushes. And Brennan Armstrong, the push for the touchdown.
Brendan Farell now on for the extra point. Through the upright, 7 plays, 77 yards, 2 minutes and 29 seconds off the clock. Finished off by that young man right there, Mike Hollins, junior from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, giving Virginia the 7-0 lead.
There's the student sway going back and forth. But what we saw on that drive, right? So, Des Kitchens, the offensive coordinator, and Tony Elliott really working hand in hand. As you just mentioned, Tony Elliott was an offensive mind, but finding ways to get their playmakers the ball and really neutralize the newness of the offensive line. Whether it's a pitch on the outside to a running back where, okay, it's just guys in space rather than running up the middle and having to have the correct reads and communication from the O-line, and then the jet sweep to Keaton Thompson. So they did it on the ground, but really they made it easier on this offensive line that's still trying to figure out how to work together. Good drive and good adjustments by the offensive staff for Virginia.
Amarian James back to return this kick. He is a dangerous return man. 2 100-yard kickoff returns in his career for touchdowns for the Monarchs. We'll see if number 2 has a chance to return this kick. Into the end zone, sails over his head. Touchback for the Monarchs. Let's take a look at our marathon drive recap. Kept it on the ground this time for the most part.
Yeah, well, the pass game wasn't working, so let's do pass-like things. Let's pitch it out to our running back. Phenomenal run by the rookie, the freshman right there. And then 2 quick runs, then give it to number 7. Extra little push by the quarterback. But you're starting to see this offense go from that vanilla we saw last week to some more wrinkles, getting these playmakers the ball in different ways.
Now Blake Watson back at tailback, shaking up a little bit on that initial drive. This time they'll use Page.
Wow.
Good speed. Page gets leveled on the sideline. Nick Jackson brings him down. And Isaiah Page is all but 5'8", 160 pounds, but he can run.
Speed kills, especially when you get him out in space. Good block by Blake Watson as well. And getting these big play runs at 10 yards a clip, you got to have a little bit better of an edge. And that lack of edge really hurt UVA in the past couple weeks.
Same play we've seen. Good adjustment defensively by Virginia. Our Week 3 ACC football lineup rolls on. Wake Forest hosting Liberty. That's coming up next. Duke and North Carolina A&T at 6 o'clock Eastern. That game is on the ACC Network Extra. And then we recap the day rather with number 5 Clemson hosting Louisiana Tech in Death Valley at 8 o'clock. Second down and 11. Wolf to throw underneath. That's his receiver, Jennings. And look what Jennings can do after the catch. The leading receiver in the country moves the chains once again for the Monarchs.
And watch the accuracy by Hayden Wolf. This is, it's a snag 7 route where you get the outside receiver coming on the curl route. But the impressive part is watch where the ball's thrown, towards the outside of the wide receiver. That tells the wide receiver, okay, I'm going to turn over my outside shoulder. And you see, that's how you get the yards after catch. Great job by Wolf.
This time coming near side, trying to get it to Harvey, and does. Harvey able to pick up good yardage, about 4 yards, before Nick Jackson brings him down from the linebacker.
Good run pass mix. Kevin Riener is putting out there. He's calling for his ODU offense. Saw a lot of runs in that first drive, helping to play action at the end, and now you're getting to some of that quick slant passing game.
Into Virginia territory for the second time in as many drives for the Monarchs. Watson again to the far side. Dancing to try and find a hole, and there is none. Nick Jackson once again filling it. Got help from Devontae Davis.
Yeah, it was a really good job by Jonas Skinner. He was coming from that nickel spot on a blitz, and he hit it. He held it just a moment. And then you see that gives time for Nick Jackson to flow over top and make a big tackle. Now 3rd down and long.
Cavaliers showing pressure, and they bring 5. Bring somebody back out, though, to try and cover for that tight end. Pass is complete, but it's going to be shy by about a yard. It'll bring up 4th down and a yard. As Sanker was once again there defensively to bring down Jordan Bly. So now what do you do if you certainly can't kick a field goal here?
No,
it's a long one too. It's a 4th and 1 long.
Bringing in an extra offensive lineman, Santana Saunders, number.
Yeah, not afraid to make mistakes.
Correct.
And the players being not that far removed as far as age goes, they want to let them know, hey, you can't be afraid to make mistakes in this game. It's going to happen, but you got to learn from him. And right now, the Monarchs are going to go for it on 4th and a yard from the 42. Got some movement. Let's check what the flags say. Everyone's pointing at everyone else. This may change some hearts and minds, Mark.
You don't see anyone getting ready on that open. Wolf staying on the field right now.
Yeah.
Now they're going over to
Chris Adams. They moved Nick Saldivari, who's usually the right tackle, into right guard, and so Adams could make that start at right tackle.
Yep.
Ethan Davies back to return this punt from Ethan Dwayne. Dwayne puts a toe into it. High kick. Davies looking to make the fair catch, lets it bounce, and it takes a beautiful Monarch bounce, rolls all the way inside the 5. They'll down it at about the 4. Great punt from Ethan Dwayne, and it buries Brennan Armstrong and the Cavalier offense to under the shadow of their own goalpost. They got the running game going the last drive, pretty much ran all the way down the field and used a variety of different players, including Keaton Thompson running the football to get down there.
Yeah, but Brennan Armstrong still only thrown 7 passes in this game, and again, you want to get the win however you can, but there's got to be some confidence building throws for Brennan Armstrong because he has not been accurate. He has not been able to deliver the football the way he needs to.
Give inside to Cody Brown.
And just too slow a developing play. Had the pullers in there and tried to get around, but was caught off the backside by the nickelback for ODU.
Gain of just about 1.5 yards, maybe 2.
Now they're getting under center.
Wow.
New formation.
That's not something Virginia fans are used to seeing. Brown again stifled. Larisha, what do you got for us?
When we spoke to head coach Tony Elliott about how Brennan has come in and really grasped this brand new offense, this new system, he said the challenge for Brennan now is just from a leadership standpoint. He's a very fiery player who wears his heart on his sleeve, and now he must be able to channel that energy to get his team going. And I saw him on the sideline going to the O-line saying, hey, we can do this, we got this. He also went over to the wide receivers, specifically Dontavian Wicks, letting him know, hey, let's settle down. We can do this. It's early on in the game, so let's get this done.
Well, need to do this right now and get it done at 3rd and 7. Inside the 10, high snap. Armstrong comes down with it, but he's under a lot of pressure inside the 5. Great ability to run.
Nice tackle, too.
But a nice tackle to bring him down. R.T. Johnson. And it'll force Virginia to punt from deep in their own territory.
And again, just no one getting open in terms of the wide receivers. You see Armstrong, he's got time, but just there's no one open. Had a receiver fall down. Just not, again, you like to see the smile on his face. Is not getting too down on himself, but not a great series right there at all for Virginia.
Whistles on the play. And they're reviewing the previous play. The yard to gain is the 14. So he's 5 yards away from that. I'm not sure what they're reviewing here. We'll figure it out during the break, and we'll let you know on the other side. And at the end of the day, no targeting was called, so we are where we were when we went to break, which is 4th down and 5. And Virginia punting from deep in their own territory. Isaiah Page looking to return this kick. He'll let it bounce near a play.
It touched him, it touched him.
And it did touch number 17 for ODU, and it'll be Virginia ball. Big mistake on special teams for the Monarchs.
Wow. And that's
Damian Charity was right there, and Page was like, clear on out.
Yeah,
and he didn't.
And you can't hear him from here, obviously, but as that return man, whatever the word is that you use, whether it's Peter, whatever it is, you gotta tell your guys to get away from the football. Wow, big swing in Virginia's direction in terms of momentum. Good hustle play, getting down the field to recover the football. Wow.
Virginia forced 4 turnovers last week. It's really the only thing they did well in that game at Illinois last week that they lost 24-3.
Well, I think, I think to be fair, it's the only thing they did well that showed up on the stats, right? I think the defense played hard. They played downhill, but that's the only, that's why the offense got more shots at the ball, because of those turnovers, not necessarily the production by the offense.
All right, tough snap. Was able to be picked up by Armstrong. Xavier Brown on a good run on first down, give him 6.
Well, I guess they know how they like using Xavier Brown. Flipping the ball in that little pitch. Use the speed. Good blocking on the outside. These wide receivers, they know how to block. Big guys. It's a good run.
Fake to Brown this time. Armstrong with time to throw over the middle. Defended nicely, as Wicks was the intended receiver, but Tobias Harris, aggressive cornerback.
Great. I mean, I was watching Tobias Harris in warm-ups, and his back pedal, his footwork, it stood out. I mean, it was really good. He was all over Wicks on that last play. Another target for Wicks that went incomplete.
Wahoo's 4 of 6 on third down today. 3rd down and 6 on this play with Hollins in the backfield. He'll stay in the block. Armstrong gets hit as he throws, and a flag comes down in the backfield. Several of them, as Marcus Haynes got there. High hit on Armstrong. Let's take another look at it.
Yeah, it looks like he got that arm up around the head area. Yep.
There's no gray area there.
Nope, can't do it. Can't do that.
15 yards and a fresh set of downs. Armstrong looking to the end zone. Underneath to Wicks, makes that catch inside the 5, dropped at the 4. It'll be 1st and goal, Virginia.
That right there is a confident throw by number 5 to his target, number 3. Good job of getting the ball in between the dropping safety and sneaking it right in. This is inches in front of the offensive, or in front of the defender's hands.
Pressure coming. They'll get to Armstrong, drop him for a 10-yard loss. Denzel Lowry finally got to him, Mark, but they brought almost a house.
Yeah, they did. They said enough of letting him sit back there and pick us apart. They wanted to bring that pressure. Yeah, you see there's 6 guys up with their hand in the dirt. It's too much for the O-line to handle. Fullback in there.
Give to Hollins. Gets to the 2nd level, but dropped inside the 10. It'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 7. Robert Kennedy on the stop for the Monarchs.
And I like the play calling. Again, you understand where the newness is of this offense. It's the offensive line, those front 5. But you're bringing in tight ends, using them as fullbacks. You're bringing in other big offensive linemen, using them to aid that offensive line. And it's worked well in those last 2 drives. Now on 3rd down, still they got the tight end in, but the other tight end is Keaton Thompson. He's a receiving threat.
Pressure up the middle, can't get it to Hollins. D.B. Harris was trying to cover from his end spot. And Hollins was open. Just looked like the throw was rushed a little bit.
Yeah, did Bibby get a hand on it? Watch 99. Let's see if his hand. Yeah, his hand got on it. And I mean, I was about to say, there's no way that was that bad of a throw. Good job, and another stop by this ODU defense, forcing a field goal instead of a touchdown.
Brendan Farell will put a toe into it. 26-yard attempt. And he hits it. Cavaliers add to their lead, take advantage of the turnover, put 3 more on the board. They're up 10. Extra Yard for Teachers Week. It's an annual back-to-school effort led by the College Football Playoff Foundation that brings college sports together to recognize and show appreciation to great teachers across the country. To support Extra Yard for Teachers recognition and resource initiatives, follow at CFP Extra Yard or scan that QR code right there for more information. Larisha, what do you got for us?
Told us that his aunt, Miss Blondell Kitt, was someone who really admired, and he was really inspired by her and her tenacity, her work ethic, but most of all, her unselfishness. She was one who worked hard for her family and for the people, where she actually was a principal in Charleston, South Carolina. He said Miss Kitt took him in as a child, raised him with her boys, and so he really admires, again, her willingness to sacrifice for others, and that is what drives Coach Elliott and keeps him pushing forward. And also, have to send her a special happy birthday, because today is her big day.
All right, happy birthday, Miss Kitt. When we asked him about that in our meetings, he didn't hesitate.
No.
That was the person he had in mind for inspiration as a young man.
Yeah, it was more of like, funny you asked, because I've been thinking about this.
Right.
I just was looking at those pictures on my phone. He's like, you know how those memories come up on your phone? Well, she popped up, and it's just a really cool story. It's fun to see how some of these coaches get to where they are and still credit people that were in their lives so long ago.
How do the Monarchs answer? They've been able to move the football a little bit in between 20s, but haven't been able to put any points on the board. Now down 10. Watson. A lot of running room on the right side. Picks up a first down. There's that play again. He just shifts from one side of Wolf to the other, and he's been able to find a crease all day long.
But yeah, Wolf, what he does, he's going out there and it's a balanced front offensively, and then he's reading the defense. And you see his hands go out to the side and do that little hey, I'm right here type thing. That's flipping the run, moves the running back, and they find the right window to run it in.
Once again, knocked off his feet. Wasn't able to pick up the first. I misspoke on that first carry, but he was within a yard. Now he picks it up.
Yeah, and that's being able to do that. That's what happens in the NFL all the time. You're going to get 2 plays usually as an NFL quarterback, a run and a pass, and then the run, you have options off of it where you can flip it to run towards the best look.
Wolf to throw. Checks off his initial receiver, down trying to find one of his big wide outs downfield, and Lex Long did a nice job defending against Dante Anthony, one of his tight ends. Man, they got some tall tight ends. Yeah, Anthony is 6'6", Kuntz is 6'8".
I know, at least Lex Long, he's 6'3", 215 on his own, and man, first start last week. We get into Lex Long a little bit later, but he had a phenomenal game last week.
Broke up that pass, 2nd down and 10. Boy, Watson was met by Deshaun Perry and dropped. I know you like to hear those pads popping from up here.
Yeah, we got our headphones on, everything, we still hear it. And it's a good job on the backside of squeezing down with his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage, not allowing that cutback that can be so dangerous. Bring up 3rd down and 9. Virginia's got 5 around the line of scrimmage to see if they bring everybody.
They come with 4, so Wolf has time, unloads deep, trying to get it to Kuntz, trying to highball it, and he almost came down with it. You can see the ball skills of that tight end. Jalen Baker, though, was there defending on the play and preventing the long completion from happening.
Yeah, and almost got that one, but again, when you're looking for an outlet to go with the football when nothing's open, a 6'8" tight end, it's a pretty good start. Good job of elevating on that play by the defender, Jalen Baker. competing with that tall target.
Once again, Ethan Davies back to return this Ethan Dwayne punt. Dwayne uncorks one. Davies from the 16, that's where he'll be dropped immediately. Good special teams play by the Monarchs. And Virginia up 10, takes over there. 8:31 left to go in this first half. His leadership, we talk a lot about that. Coaches talked a lot about it. Here he was after the last possession.
Yeah, and Coach wants him to be that leader, especially with those wide receivers, getting on them, just holding them accountable. Nothing serious, but holding them accountable to run the right routes at the right depth so he can get them the football. And it's not a comfortable situation for him. He did a good job stepping up and doing that. Good throw right there. Again, Keaton Thompson, can't talk enough about how much he means this offense, and so good at catching the ball in traffic too with his hands.
Now lining up in the slot on the right side, Virginia looking to go quickly. Paris. It's a good, strong run, gets the first down. R.T. Johnson on the stop, but Paris Jones pick it up.
He's got an injured guy for the Old Dominion.
I hope that it's not Jason Henderson, but it might be. Not that you hope anybody gets hurt, but for Old Dominion, that is a big loss for them if he can't continue. Number 42 in white. Monarch staff looking after the sophomore from Dingman's Ferry, PA.
You're coming to this game number 3 in the FBS in terms of total tackles. He had 18 tackles week 1 and then 14 tackles to follow it up last week.
Big cog in the middle of this Monarch defense down. We'll update you on Jason Henderson's condition when we come back. Back in the studio. Jason Henderson back in there. Had his shoulder looked at, said, I'm fine. Tape it up, let me in. Armstrong going deep to Wicks. Now he makes the catch. That might be another confidence builder for those two.
There you go, big fella. That was about the 4th time where Wicks has been left one-on-one to that big field that brought all the receivers into the boundary. Wicks was that lone guy towards the big field. And good job of getting through the football by Brendan Armstrong, getting it out to his guy.
Now Armstrong will roll. It's Mish, the tight end. Gets hit hard inside the 30, hangs on, close to another first down.
Virginia's looking to go fast, getting those guys to the line of scrimmage. Lots of run, that deep shot, then a play action pass. See if they go back to the run here.
There's Henderson now, he's out of the game. Watching this Virginia team move fast.
Wow, strong
good run
run
by Hollins. Shucking tacklers and picking up about 4.
Strong run. They're getting into that bunch set with a tight end and then Keaton Thompson over there, and it's just the old school Pittsburgh Steelers play where it's called a dual play. They just double team every single person up front and try to push the pile and let the running back pick the hole.
Henderson back on the field for the Monarchs, 2nd down and 6. Now it's Paris Jones in the backfield. Like the Green Bay power sweep here. Jones picks up about 5. Late flag coming in. It'll be 3rd and 2 otherwise, but let's check the marker. Shot block. Call going against John Paul Flores. Transfer from Dartmouth. 2nd team All-Ivy for the Big Green.
Yep. Got low, and once the ball leaves the tackle box this year, you can't have those low blocks, so it's gonna have to be a coaching point.
That's a big penalty too. Moves him back 15 yards. Armstrong to throw. Pressure up the middle, but it's picked up. Hits Mish again. And it'll bring up 3rd down and about 15. Tonight at 11 o'clock after Louisiana Tech Clemson, ACC Huddle Crew will have a complete wrap-up of our game and the whole entire day. Highlights, analysis, interviews with players and coaches. They got you covered. It's here on the ACC Network and on the ESPN app. Third and 14 for Armstrong. Option. Keeps it inside the 30, and he picks up the first down.
All right, BA, Brennan Armstrong. That little fake flip pitch. And, you know, you talk to the defensive staff for ODU, and they say, you know, look, he kind of reminds us like those, you know, prototypical, Big 12 type quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield, Johnny Manziel, where maybe shorter guy, but has that good arm strength and a really good running ability. You saw it there on that play.
High snap goes up to get it. Hollins gets met. That's a beautiful tackle too right there. Henderson, sore shoulder and all, drops Hollins.
Yeah, and you got to start moving the ball on that first down play when you're in the red zone. They've had tough time on first down in the red zone so far, and it's led to a couple field goals. You see the activity of Jason Henderson. Just a really strong player for this Old Dominion defense.
2nd and 10. Fake to Hollins. Armstrong to throw. Thompson inside the 10, down at about the 7. That's where they'll mark him.
And that's what happens when you use Keaton Thompson as that kind of tight end guy, right? He's not going to come across and be the lead blocker, but you do enough of those radar plays where you bring the tight end back across the field on the run, and now you pull it for the play action pass, and he outruns the linebacker. But still, that 3rd down, 2 yards to go till they pick up a first.
Thompson now has 99 receptions on his career for the former quarterback at Mississippi State. Hollins, the carry, 1st down, loses the football, ball is on the carpet, still loose. As all kinds of players jump in to try and retrieve it.
Oh, this is where it gets crazy on the bottom of a pile.
Now a Monarch player comes out of there with it, number 45.
Well, and he holds the ball up like, look, it's right here.
Right.
And that's who gets it.
What are you guys looking at? I got the ball right here.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a fumble recovered by Old Dominion. So earlier in the game, Mark, we had a big turnover by the Monarchs at midfield, led to a touchdown by Virginia, and now Virginia looked like they were about to put it in. This was going to be 1st and goal, and the ball is on the carpet inside the 5. Monarchs get one back.
Yeah, they do, and man, not a good start on the season for Tony Elliott's offense in terms of turnovers. Coming into this game, they lost 5 turnovers, 2 fumbles, 3 interceptions. Another lost fumble on that play, and you're down towards that red zone. You got to hold on to the football. That points off the board from this Old Dominion defense. Great job. And now, right, defensively, UVA's defense back on the field. You can't let that affect your mindset. Go out there and play the fundamental football that you know how to do and try to get your offense back the ball in good field position.
Got Hayden Wolf and company backed up. Give to Wicks, his first carry of the day, minimal gain, maybe a yard. Keyshawn Wicks. Monarchs aren't afraid to go quickly, even backed up the way they are.
See, both these offenses are lining up in the same formation. Those like kind of dual bunch sets, 2 tight ends right off the ball.
Wolf to throw, wants to go quickly out into the flat, has a receiver. That's Jennings. He's able to pick up about 5. It'll bring up 3rd down and a long 4.
Yeah, important play there, regardless of whether they convert this 1st down or not, because you get in a situation where you can give room for your punter to punt the football if it becomes necessary. Back in that condensed formation again. We've seen the run out of this on 3rd down so far in this game.
Instead, Wolf will look to throw. Underneath, hits his receiver, powers forward for the 1st down. That was Isaiah Spencer, the tight end.
First option towards the outside, not open. Good job of coming back to his 2nd look, and the smallest of the tight ends at 6'5", 230 makes that catch.
Monarchs get out of danger, at least initially. Watson hitting the backfield, spins off it, picks up 2. Cohen King on the tackle.
Josh Ahern was there. Good read on the play, but just a poor job tackling. A few extra yards for the running back. And You're seeing just very similar plays from this offense over and over again. Now they get a different set, different formation.
Another player jumped. This time on the left side. Is that Kadiri Kunta? Was not. It was Chris Adams on the other side now. He's switched over to the left tackle, and he's guilty again of a false start infraction. Virginia takes their first timeout, seeing that it's 2nd down and 13, thinking they might be able to get the ball back close to midfield with a little time on that clock if they can make a stop.
Yeah, and making a stop is key. Obviously, that's paramount in this game, but you're cognizant of the clock. That's the whole thing right now. Tony Elliott, obviously his first season as a head coach. As a head coach, it's crazy, Chris. You don't think about just this series. You got to think about, okay, what is this series? How does this series end? If it ends how we want it to, how can we set up the next series for our offense in the correct manner? And I like that timeout there.
His assistants, too, you think about it. John Rudzinski was at Air Force for 14 years.
Oh, yeah.
Many of those as defensive coordinator, now the DC here. And on the offensive side, Des Kitchens was with the Falcons, South Carolina, NC State. That's where he and Tony really got to work on their relationship out on the road, recruiting running backs against each other. Now working on the same staff. Virginia brings some pressure. Tried to hit Page, just overshot him a little bit, and that stops the clock in favor of Virginia here with 3rd down and still 2:15 left.
Yeah, and Aiden Wolf, he had his receiver on that corner route. Was unable to put it in there. I'd like to see him put a little more air under it, but good pressure by UVA. And
3rd and 13. Let's see how aggressive that Kevin Riener and this Old Dominion team wants to get here deep in their own territory.
Does not look like Virginia's showing pressure. They're dropping back.
They come with just 4. Wolf steps up underneath. It's Page on the crossing pattern, but he's nowhere near getting that 1st down. Virginia will call timeout number 2. And plenty of time on the clock. Well, we've seen some amazing fans across the ACC. Now we need your help. This fall, ACC Network wants to experience each sport from your perspective. So snap a pic or take a video, tag it with hashtag #AllTheDevotion, and post it to your social, and you just might see it on the ACC Network.
Good clock management there by Tony Elliott. You mentioned that 2nd down timeout. Only allowed 13 seconds to run off the clock, and now they're going to get the ball back.
As we see this offensive huddle for Virginia, that offensive line, haven't talked too much about it, but certainly we talked about it at the beginning of the game, how Armstrong's back, all the receivers are back, but the offensive line, totally new.
Well, if we're not talking about them, that means they're probably playing pretty well.
Davies with the fair catch at the 34. And we'll see that offensive line. That just shows you what they think of Boley. And Mikhail Boley, you know his father. You played in the NFL with him, didn't you?
Yeah, he was on the Super Bowl team with me for the New York Giants. And
Michael Boley.
Yep, really good linebacker.
Armstrong, now the 2-minute drill. We'll see it can't hit Thompson.
And we have not seen very good separation from these wide receivers. You talk about the pressure on the quarterback, and you talk about the accuracy by Brennan Armstrong, but aside from that opening drive, I think Brennan Armstrong's been pretty accurate. The coverage has just been very good by ODU.
Armstrong to throw again. Pressure up the middle, chases him out. Now he's going to run for it. Picks up about 6. RT Johnson with the tackle. Now Virginia facing a 3rd down, needing to convert to keep their hopes for points alive here in the end of the 2nd quarter. Once again, one-on-one with Wicks on the top of your screen. He's looking that way. Goes to him. Nice catch. And a flag down at the end.
Good catch.
Seemed to be covered pretty well, maybe too well.
Holding. Defense. 10-yard penalty, previous spot. Automatic. First down.
Yeah, Tobias Harris.
Yeah, right there. Good inside move, and it's a physical play at the line of scrimmage. Didn't see a ton of holding, but restricted him a little bit. We'll add on.
Tobias Harris continues to acquit himself pretty well, though. It's all over Wicks. Now from midfield. Again, out to Wicks. Gets what he can. That's about 8. Keep the clock running. Harris on the coverage in the tackle. Clock winding to a minute. Still 1 timeout on the board for Virginia. And now it looked like Wicks might have lost his helmet.
103 on the clock when his helmet came off. 103 on the clock.
And now Wicks has got to take a play off because his helmet came off.
And I think Coach Ronnie is wondering why the clock stopped. Or why there was no runoff. Either way, it's now they'll run it with a minute. Armstrong running it. Nice move. And a stiff arm. Inside the 45.
Falls
Losing
out.
the football, though.
Wow.
Another battle for it on the bottom of the pile. And it's ODU ball.
Wow. Well, the DC for ODU. DC for ODU, Blake Seiler talked about limiting the scramble. He said, don't let him scramble north and south. Good job of forcing him east and west. And I mean, you see just a really good hit by Robert Kennedy, a captain for this team. And the ball, that's out. And it's another fumble.
No question. Trey Hawkins, the cornerback on the other side, Mark, made the recovery. And ball security is just, it's one of several issues this Virginia offense has had this year, and it continues. Now what does ODU do? They have 3 timeouts on the board in 51 seconds. Plenty of time to get something going.
Yeah, I'm finding number 80. You got to get Kuntz, your big tight end, involved on this drive.
Wolf will throw. Cavs bring just 4, and there he is. Kuntz inside Virginia territory, out of bounds at the 43.
And it's, when you get to this situation game, you got to look for the mismatches. It's going to be a mismatch, pretty much anyone who's covering him, and especially when you get an inside linebacker on a 6'8" tight end who can really run routes well.
20 yards on the play. Wolf again to throw. Virginia brings just 4, now outside. It's Amarian Granger. Fentrell Cypress on the tackle.
Timeout. Old Dominion. That's their first charge timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Monarchs had all 3 at the start of that drive, so they used their first with 39 seconds left to go.
2 really good, well-thrown balls by Hayden Wolf, and a couple good play designs by Kevin Riener. And again, you talk about just how ODU wins these games, right? They beat Virginia Tech week 1. They forced 5 turnovers in that game. Now, they're doing same stuff. Obviously, they're not up on the scoreboard, but they're keeping themselves in it. And where they are on the field right now, from earlier in this game, they got to probably get about 10 more yards to get in field goal position.
Right.
I would love to obviously come away with 7.
And keep in mind, Mark, they get the second half kickoff too, so this could be a twofer for the Monarchs.
Yep.
Got to get the first one on the board first, though, and Hayden Wolf out of this timeout on 2nd down and 5. Again, Virginia brings just 5. Beautiful pass and catch. Again, Kuntz.
Yeah, anytime Josh Ahern, number 33, is going to be covering Kuntz, that ball's got to go his way. Ahern's a good player, but it's just he's outmatched in that situation, especially right now. You got the 2 top receivers, Ali Jennings and Zach Kuntz, that are basically stacked towards the top of the screen.
Kuntz, 6'8", NFL-type talent, speed and hands, and he's showing it on this drive. Wolf, receiver fell down, and it just falls harmlessly, incomplete. Tried to look at Isaiah Page's way, and he fell down. Now we get a flag and another one towards the end of the play.
Yeah, just Number 67, the offensive lineman, just threw Josh Ahern after the play. That's going to be a personal foul on Tyron Hunt. That's just not a smart play, and they're going to pull Tyron Hunt out of the game.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 67, offense, 15-yard penalty. The down count, second down.
That is a senior too, Mark.
Yeah.
Very unsenior-like play. That hurts you in so many different ways. You're now out of field goal range. It's after the play. So it's a dead ball, so it's basically just 15 yards thrown on the end of the play. And it's second down and forever.
Yeah.
Virginia looks like they're coming with pressure. Now they bring just 4 back out of it. Jennings on the
Wow.
receiving end, right out of his break.
Yeah, just that's a tight end. I mean, that's a wide receiver and a quarterback understanding each other. The moment that Ali Jennings comes out of his break,
Old Dominion, that's their second charge timeout of the half.
I mean,
Second timeout.
that ball hits him. The ball's thrown right now before he even gets his head back, and great job of finding it. And just like that, now you get in a situation where, okay, we could have a long field goal here, and we can try to take a shot to get this first down on third down.
Good job by our camera crew focusing on Jennings, the nation's leading receiver coming into this game. Had a relatively quiet first half by his standards, but showing up on this drive with Old Dominion with a great opportunity to put some points on the board before we go to half.
Yeah, and the last play, Virginia double-teamed Kuntz, the tight end. And aligning Ali Jennings and Kuntz towards the same side of the football, you know that if you're going to put 2 on 80, the number 0 is going to be left alone. And right now, Josh Ahern, the linebacker, is over top of number 0, Ali Jennings.
Third down. Going to the end zone, trying to get it to Jennings. Touchdown!
That's it. Find where linebackers are covering receivers, put them in a bind. And phenomenal throw by Hayden Wolf. Great recognition by that quarterback. Sprinkled some pixie dust on his wide receiver. He is flying. Right here, look, Ahern, number 33. He's got no shot. I mean, just not bad coverage, but he just doesn't have the practice, the ball skills to come down with that. That's great execution by ODU's offense and their coordinator.
Sanchez with the PAT. Turnovers and points off those turnovers have been huge in this game. Scoring is at a premium here, so when you get the opportunity, you got to make the most of it. Boy, do the Monarchs ever do that.
Just great concentration in there. They overcame that unsportsmanlike conduct. 2 big passes to get them back downfield, 7 points. And great job again by those 2 making that connection.
6 plays, Mark, 64 yards in just 32 seconds at the end of the first half to really make this a game. I mean, it's 10-0. You got Virginia and Brennan Armstrong moving down the field. If it's 17-0 at the half, you're talking about a totally different ball game than we've got right now with the Monarchs finally able to put some points on the board, and now a real belief they can walk out of here with a W.
Yeah, well, they believed it coming in. There were some press clippings. Ali Jennings that said, look, we beat an ACC team already. We can beat these guys. And last time they played in 2019, ODU actually led at half, 17-7. Virginia then had 28 unanswered points to win the game, but ODU, they feel and know they can be in this game, and they are. And now with 19 seconds left and fumbles on the last 2 drives, you got to imagine Brennan Armstrong is just going to take a knee and send this one in half.
That appears to be the case as the Virginia offense comes out onto the field. Armstrong takes a knee, and he'll let the final 15 seconds tick off the clock. ODU wants bragging rights in the state of Virginia. got a ways to go before they can lay claim to champions of the Commonwealth. They've already beaten Virginia Tech, and they are firmly in this contest against Virginia here in Charlottesville. 10-7, Wahoos with the lead at the half. Larisha standing by with Coach Elliott.
Coach, ball security.
And Old Dominion went into half with the momentum on their side.
And they get the ball here to start the second half, Mark, as Virginia took the opening kickoff and weren't able to put points on after winning the toss. Here are your highlights. Yardage, particularly running the football, favoring Virginia. And really, you got to say, until that last drive right before the turnover mark, when Armstrong and Wicks kind of got going, the passing game was non-existent for Virginia. Here comes ODU on that opening kickoff, and good field position for Lamari James out beyond the 25.
Yeah, and this is an opportunity for both sides, right? For Virginia defensively, they just gave up, a long, quick touchdown drive to end the first half. Now, ODU on their side of the ball, can they build on that momentum that they created towards the end of that first half? It's going to be it's an important drive right here for both teams, just in terms of regaining momentum by UVA or continuing that momentum by ODU.
Blake Watson in the backfield alongside Hayden Wolf to start this second half. Give to Watson. Still on his feet, gets a first down. Larisha Harris is down in the field. What's going on, Larisha?
I caught up with Coach Ricky Ronnie, and he told me his guys must finish this second half. That was really the message to his guys. He said, hey, we're doing the right things. We're making the right plays. Hayden Wolf is giving us in the right position. We just have to finish. He said the blocks, the drives, everything is there.
Including that out pass. That's a gorgeous pass and completion to Javon Harvey. Makes the catch, move the sticks again into Virginia territory.
Yeah, and that was a wide open wide receiver. Trying to get that deep cover 3 zone, just stopped, found his spot, good completion.
Just adjusting the spot. Now we're ready to go. It's interesting, we have the Old Dominion coaches box right next door to us here in our broadcast position, and we can hear every moment of ecstasy and every moment of agony coming from that group. They're living and dying on every play. Watson did a nice job of being patient, but puts the ball on the ground. And it looks like he was able to fall on it. Well, you had an offensive lineman out there. That was number 64, Nick Saldiveri, who fell on the ball.
Good job getting to the edge. And you see right there, number 15 punched the ball out.
Wow. Chico Bennett is just tantalizingly sitting there. Saldiveri very fortunate to be able to fall on it and keep possession for the Monarchs. Gain of 2 on the play when all was said and done. Bennett, trying to be patient. There's just not a whole lot there right now. Another tackle by Chico Bennett as Watson stopped for maybe a yard gain, 3rd and 7.
Yeah, it's a good tackle by Chico Bennett, but one of the things that Bennett has to work on is maintaining that edge. You saw in that last play, he gave up that edge, got circled. That happened a few times last week as well. Now on 3rd down is where Chico Bennett comes alive. This is where his pass rush skills really come into play.
You can see him standing near side. You can also see Kuntz, the big tight end, line up as a receiver. Gives to the tailback, and Watson has no shot at all. Cam Butler in on the tackle, and Bennett in the backfield. What a defensive series for Chico Bennett.
Yeah, we talk about building off the momentum at the end of the first half. Yeah, I don't love this play call. You're 3rd down and 6, handing the ball off to your running back. It's a tough play call, especially when your quarterback and wide receivers have been clicking so well.
Ethan to Ethan, Dwayne to Davies. Another good kick from Dwayne. Can it stay out of the end zone? It cannot. Bounces in. It'll be a touchback. These 2 players get tangled up. Crowd wanted a flag thrown on the play. They won't get one. Virginia with the football for the first time in the second half when we come back. Time in the second half. Quick pitch to Xavier Brown. To the outside. Puts his shoulder pads down and picks up an extra yard or two.
I think it's coming back, holding on Grant Mish, looks like.
Get the word from Gary Patterson, our referee today. Seems to be the case.
Holding, number 85, offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
You saw it, Mark. Grant Mish.
Yep, see right there, and got a little bit extra on the defender.
Bringing down Ryan Henry. 1st and 20. Armstrong to throw.
Just
to nobody in particular.
no. And look, you know, and Armstrong's pointing out to his guys, saying, look, that's you. You got to be there. And, you know, there's a level of leadership. There's obviously a level of frustration for Armstrong. And you get a sense that he's just not comfortable with releasing the football, knowing that either his receivers are going to be there or he's going to have enough time. But those things have to be fixed, and they're uncharacteristic of Brennan from last year.
2nd down and 20. Armstrong again to throw. Has all kinds of time, and now he's going to go deep. Trying to get it to Wicks, who stopped on the pattern to come back for the ball, and it goes over his head. Tobias Harris with outstanding coverage on the edge.
And that's where, you know, the Wicks-Armstrong connection is not there. You know, Wicks stopped on the route because, quite honestly, most of those deep balls have been underthrown by Brendan Armstrong. This one, however, you're not underthrown, and just, you know, it's just no confidence. There's no confidence offensively, and now it brings up 3rd and 20. You know, I don't know what you do here.
Well, let's see if ODU wants to bring a little pressure. They don't. They bring 4, so Armstrong's going to have a lot of time, and he does. Now he's got Thompson deep down the left sideline at midfield and makes the catch.
And, like, that's the guy, right? That's the guy who gets this team going. And, you know, in press conference this week, Coach Elliott said, you know, look, it was KT on the sidelines who has been trying to get everybody going when things have gone bad. So get him the football, and they tried to go to Wicks. Wicks was double teamed. You see how long it takes Armstrong to get off Wicks. But, you know, you get a matchup, you throw it up to 99, and you know, he just is so good at catching in traffic.
Got an injured player for Old Dominion on the field. We'll check on Terry Jones, I believe, is the injured Monarch when we come back. Virginia set up now in Old Dominion territory after the 45-yard pitch and catch to Thompson.
Yeah, and look at the bottom of the screen. Wicks, the #1 target, he's double team. You have a safety over top and a corner underneath, and you see it just was a flat route that got converted because your quarterback is scrambling. Good job by Keaton Thompson of just, look, we need to get 20. Let me go deep for my quarterback. And you talk about mismatches that ODU took advantage of in the first half. That's a mismatch with your 6'5" wide receiver against a, you know, although big but smaller 6'1" safety.
Terry Jones, the safety covering on the play, had to leave the game with an injury. So we'll keep an eye on that. Armstrong to throw. There's Wicks. Down to the 20. Hawkins on the coverage. 24 yards on the play.
Good blitz pickup right up the middle. They let a defensive tackle free, but good job by the freshman of bumping the guy off. So Brendan Armstrong has enough time. And see, like, that's it, right? Armstrong has that ability to get the ball to Wicks, get to his 2 receivers. Good job executing on that play.
Fake to Xavier Brown. Now he's got all time to throw. Looking underneath, can't find anybody open. Still can't find anybody open. Now he has Mish inside the 5.
And the defender just lost him. Play took so long to get going, and Armstrong, good job of extending it.
Good job defensively by the Monarchs. Xavier Brown had nowhere to go. Drop for a loss.
Yeah, and, you know, my eyes on this last play were on Wicks, but watch Wicks over the middle. He's not running the route. I mean, he's walking it. And so Armstrong's like, okay, what am I going to do? Mish, good job sneaking up the sideline. Another scramble drill. You know, and again, it's good that they're picking up the yardage, but you want to be able to execute the plays that are called and not have to freelance.
Second down and goal from just outside the 5.
Lavelle Davis, top of your screen, 6'7" wide receiver.
Looking near side.
Ball's
Armstrong
out.
gets sacked. Fumble on the play, picked up by Old Dominion. Sean Asbury ends up picking up the fumble, and again, a Virginia drive is squashed because of a turnover.
And gosh, when you have a timing play like this where you know, look, I'm going to throw it up. Good job on the timing. The running back, again, mentioned he's a true freshman. A good blitz pickup before. Now, when you see that, you got to abandon the run play and go get the guy off the edge. But you know, Armstrong with that little pump fake, doesn't have it. And again, you know, that's a good hit, good tackle, and good recovery. And another fumble by Virginia.
Marcus Haynes forced the fumble, Mark. That's the 3rd red zone turnover of the afternoon for the Cavaliers. And new life for the Monarchs. Give to Sims. Just tries to move the pile, bounces it outside and stays on his feet. Give him almost 10 on the carry.
Just continuing working, and it's number 9, the tight end. Phenomenal job of sticking with his block, and you know, this Virginia defense, they're initially in the right gaps, but they're allowing running backs to get outside them on that second effort.
Now Sims on the receiving end here, swing pass, picks up the first down. Yeah, you mentioned Dante Anthony, the tight end. You know, Coons is the NFL guy, the guy that can catch the ball. He's got great speed, great hands. Dante Anthony, they say, is the best blocker of all the tight ends.
Yeah, and you know, he could be an NFL guy too. I mean, he's got the size for it, 6'6", 240. And you know, there's a premium at blocking tight ends as well in the NFL. But what an option when Kuntz isn't on the field to be able to have another guy like that.
Sims. Give him about 2. Paul Akiri, another transfer from the Ivy League from Columbia, on the tackle. It's pretty amazing, Mark, is that Old Dominion only has 94 yards rushing. Doesn't it feel like they've been able to run the football more effectively today?
It's the broken tackles where they should have less.
Out of the backfield again. Nice play design, nice execution. Sims gets it close to a first down. Big 3rd down here right at midfield.
Yeah, why don't we see more of those running back screens anymore? I mean, that used to be a staple in college football. You haven't seen it very much. Virginia's injured player.
Cavalier down. See if we can get a number there. Far side. Staff comes to take a look.
It's like Smiley, Ben Smiley, Bob.
Defensive tackle Ben Smiley banged up on the play. 10-7. Cavaliers on top. Tech and Death Valley, 8 Eastern on both the ACC network and on the ESPN app. 3rd down and 2 from midfield. Blake Watson in the backfield with Hayden Wolf. Give to Watson, nowhere to go. He gets stopped for a loss. Lex Long from his safety spot coming in and making the tackle.
Lex Long, I love the way this guy plays football. You know, he's a true sophomore. But watch 27. You're not going to see him yet. There he is. Comes down from that safety position. He finds the open gap, and he shoots and makes tackles. I mean, he's a guy. He had his first start last week, and Coach Elliott, he said last Wednesday, before last week's game, he went up to him and said, found Solomon, look, you can be better than you are. You just got to put in that work, and he has done that, taken to heart. He has had 2 phenomenal games.
High kick from Dwayne, taken by Davies. At his own 17. Virginia, after turning the ball over, not giving up any points and getting it back. It has been a big story on the day, Mark, and it has been a big story early on in the season. Turnovers costing the Cavaliers.
Yeah, again, the last 2 series of the first half, you're driving in, you're in the red zone, you're about to score, fumble. And then you're getting going offensively. Brendan Armstrong tries to do it himself, fumble. Then you start off the second half, you're again right at the 5-yard line, fumble. I mean, these turnovers, again, they cannot happen. Give credit to ODU defensively. They've been doing this every single game, so they're trying to get those balls out, but you got to be better on the offensive side of the ball, protecting it.
Scored 17 points off 5 turnovers in their opening weekend to win against Virginia Tech. Missed tackle there. Paris Jones is able to scoot free for about 3, and then they forced 3 turnovers today, just 7 points off those turnovers, but they've prevented Virginia scoring opportunities with those turnovers.
And at least 9 points, right? Yeah. Virginia's going to kick at least 3 field goals on those 3 drives, and so it's a 16-point swing in favor of Old Dominion. Like that fast math, Chris?
I'm still trying to figure that out. It's swimming around in my head. Armstrong, Wicks, incomplete.
Drop. Low football. Drop. See Armstrong pat his chest. That's me. Again, something's got to get figured out, and you never know. You got new coaching staff. It's just a new style of coaching, but that has got to be caught, and especially with Wicks, he has his eyes set on the NFL. I mean, those are types that you have to make.
He's an all-ACC receiver.
Yep.
Mission motion to the top of the screen. Armstrong looking to throw quickly. That's Davis, overshoots him. That's hard to do. Davis is 6'7", but that's what happened, and it's 3 and out for Virginia.
And just like that, ODU gets the ball back, and it's not a turnover per se, but it's a turnover on downs, right? Or forcing of a punt right away, and just really feels like ODU, although they're down on the scoreboard, they've been in control of this game ever since the start of the second quarter.
Well, think about their last possession. Conservative call at midfield. They didn't get it. Okay, we'll punt it away, play a little field position. Now they're getting it back. Isaiah Page with his heels on his own 35. Pressure up the middle. Page will take it from the 40. Trying to get a block, and he gets one. Gets to the outside, and he'll get to midfield, and that's where ODU will start. Jordan Cornette in studio. What do you got for us, JC?
Boys, do I have an update for you in our Fansville studio update. Q's trailing Purdue 29-25. 12 seconds left. Garrett Schrader hooks up with a Rondé Gaston. 25-yard tutty. Q's goes on to win in exhilarating fashion, 32-29. Boys, I need a cigarette. I don't even smoke.
That was a wild game. I was looking up at the monitor here. That game was like 9-6 for most of the game. Now all of a sudden, 32-29.
Yeah.
And Syracuse found a way to win in the end.
Yeah, out of control. And to think, Syracuse has not won a game in the past 2 years when Sean Tucker has not rushed for 100 yards. They broke that streak today. They got that win, and Sean Tucker was kind of held to under 50 yards rushing.
Wolf trying to get to Jennings here. Well covered that time. Anthony Johnson, Jonas Sanker again doubling up on it. Really very little chance to complete that pass.
Yeah, good job. You got basically playing 2-man where you have a man-to-man on the outside, but then a cover 2 safety over the top. Good job of vicing the receiver, forcing the incompletion. Yep, run play, switching the run. There it is.
Give to Watson. Tracked in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Aaron Falmouy brings him down.
Yeah, Aaron Falmouy, just a really good defensive interior lineman for this team. And, if we see it up in the booth and we know what's happening, I mean, you got to know that Virginia's defensive line is knowing what's happening. So, at some point, Kevin Riener's going to have to do that same hand motion with the quarterback and do a play-action shot. Right now, on 3rd down and long, you got your big tight end in 3-point stance to the top of your screen.
Wolf with time. Incomplete. Tried to hit Jordan Bly. Jordan Bly wasn't going to go anywhere if he caught it anyways. And it'll bring up 4th down.
Good job by Virginia defensively. Anemic offense. You come out here, you give them another chance anytime. I mean, you know, Chris, I've been in those situations before where just the offense is not getting going. And defensively, you just got to continue to get the ball in their hands and trust that your quarterback and your offense is going to start making some plays. Good job defensively by Virginia.
That's just the first 3 and out of the day by Old Dominion. Couldn't come at a better time for the Cavaliers. They'll get it right back. Battle of punts here in this third quarter. Field position game. Cavaliers at their 26th. So we talked about Syracuse. Big win for them today. 3-0. Able to find right now, I think, under Cristobal.
And look at this offensive set. Got that old wishbone look.
They give to Jones, and he has a lot of room to run. Give him 9 yards.
Go, little wrinkle in this offense. The wishbone, got the 2 tight ends acting as fullbacks. And, you know, with that, it just creates more gaps late. So the defense can't anticipate where they're going to need to fit in the run game. That's a good pickup on first down.
Here it is again. Jones. They'll move the sticks. Alex Solano on the tackle. Virginia getting close to 150 yards rushing on the day.
And, you know, Des Kitchens, good job switching it up. Look, what we've been doing has not been working. Switch it up now, play action off of it.
Well, Armstrong wanted to go deep, couldn't set his feet, but now he can run. He's got his eye on that first down, won't get there, but he picks up 8 on first.
Yeah, and gosh, man, I feel like he could have gotten that first down. He had a good block by Wicks on the outside. And you just like go a few extra yards.
Here's what you don't want, though. You don't want him extending and then getting blown up, right? It's sort of like the better part of Valor.
Yep.
2nd and 2, we'll get it.
You don't want him to fumble.
That is true, too. 2nd down and 3 close to midfield.
And you see Virginia sub, so ODU was trying to sub a guy on the field just to slow down the offense a little bit.
Interesting formation there, too.
That's a dual run set. Again, you just get that. We talked about the Pittsburgh Steelers were famous with that, with Jerome Bettis in the backfield. And you just get massive humanity all moving forward, shoulder to shoulder. But Chris, to that point, again, 3rd and 1. It's not a guarantee. And now under center, Brennan Armstrong, see if they decide to sneak it.
Now we'll get a timeout here.
Timeout, Virginia. First charge timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Tony Elliott understood how important picking up this first down at midfield was. Didn't want to waste the opportunity. Calls a timeout to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, and remember, when they were down at the goal line, right? They drove all the way down to the goal line. They're at the 1-yard line. They couldn't punch it in. And then Brendan Armstrong took that sack, forced fumble, right? So now, again, you're in that similar situation where you need to get a yard. Let's get everybody together. Rather than rushing, let's make sure we have the right play. Go over again. What's the snap count? Don't have a penalty. Hold on to the football. And now you send your guys out there and hope for the best.
ACC PM, that's ACC Network's new afternoon studio show. Mark Packer hosts. Former Tar Heel standout Trey Boston is there. Seminole great Taylor Tannenbaum is there. They'll focus on football but cover all kinds of ACC sports. 4 o'clock Eastern, weekdays. Jones, that's tough sledding right there. He didn't get it. It'll bring up 4th down.
And you got to go back to that Brennan Armstrong quarterback scramble. And there's certain situations in games where you need to just get the extra yard for the first down. And I mean, what a stop by ODU defensively.
Henderson right in the middle of things. Tony Elliott, hand on his chin. Tobias Harris back to receive this kick. Fair catch at his 12. And Old Dominion out of the Sun Belt will take over. What he started has been for Fun Belt action. I mean, Old Dominion, we talked about their win over Virginia Tech, but then those next 3, huge. App State beating Texas A&M last week. Game day was there. I'm surprised there even is a Boone, North Carolina anymore. Marshall beating Notre Dame. Georgia Southern beats Nebraska. Georgia State almost beat North Carolina. I mean, what a start it's been for them.
Well, and traditionally, you have those types of losses. That means head coaches get fired. So I mean, you saw that in Nebraska, but the Sun Belt, it's not. They're good. I mean, these teams are good, and they've recruited really well. Transfer portals really helped them.
Good defense that time. A nice tackle by Nick Jackson. I'd say South Alabama right now is beating UCLA in the fourth quarter. It continues.
It does, and you get a lot of these guys, with the transfer portal, a lot of these big Power 5 schools, they're playing a lot of young people because of different transfer portal. Well, a lot of times guys who aren't getting the playing time at the Power 5, they might go down to some of these other conferences and group of 5 teams, and I mean they are playing seniors and experienced guys, and that experience has been helping them.
2nd and 10. Sims. Not much there. There's just a lot of bodies in that pile.
And it's interesting, right? The only time we saw a real pass-dominant drive by ODU was right at the end of that first half, where they picked apart UVA defensively down the field, and it's just been back to the run game. Right now, again, you got to look for Kuntz, and you got to look for number 0, Ali Jennings. Kuntz down the bottom of your screen, Ali Jennings all the way at the top.
Virginia not showing blitz. Let's see if they bring just 4. And they do. It's what they've done pretty much all afternoon long. Wolf, the receiver out of the break, makes the catch. Was it enough?
No,
the spot was not enough for the first down.
And I'm not seeing the kicking unit run. Now they are running on the field, but you look at Jennings. And again, it's just another really good throw, but it just has to be farther, right? It has to be a yard farther downfield. The route does. And now
that doesn't look like a great spot to me, Mark.
It doesn't. And it's
The ball carrier was stopped short of the line of game. Previous play is under further review.
We're going to take another look at it, as will the replay booth, Mark. He had to get to the 22. Now watch where he catches it, because that's where his forward momentum is stopped right there. Don't you agree? That's where they should spot it, right where he catches it.
Yep, absolutely. Let's see. He's at the 25. See, that's, it's actually a good route. There it is, right there. That they might come back with that. And again, the angle of the camera, here's a great angle. Yeah, before that contact was made, if Jennings runs back and he loses yardage without getting touched, that's one thing. But look, that catch is made. Now he's touched. To me, that's a first down. Forward progress should give it to him. Be interesting. That's it. First of all, our camera crew, that is a phenomenal angle.
Right down the line, touched. It looks like the ball is right even beyond the 22 when he gets touched right there.
Yep. So my commentary on that was not a far enough route. That was a perfect route.
Further review, it was determined that the receiver possessed the ball at the 23-yard line and was pushed backward. The result of the play, first down.
All right, our replay official, Michael Webster, I think makes the right call on that one. Gary Patterson lets us know what his call was. Call reversed. Drive stays alive for ODU.
Perfect route. And how about Ali Jennings coming to this game? You lead FBS in receiving yards, right? You're going against a team that you got Wicks on the other side. You got all these wide receivers that you hear about all week, and you come out, look, I'm going to outplay them, and he has so far.
Now let's see if ODU opts to stay with the running game or mix it up a little bit more in the early downs. Continuing to run. Watson picks up about 3 yards. I can only remember them going up top, Mark, on first down, maybe one time, and it was that overthrow all the way down here to Jennings.
Yep.
Very conservative play calling, but they're still in the game, down just 3 here late in the going in the third. Now they'll throw. Wolf, pump fake, chased out of the pocket. He's going to be sacked. Cam Butler got to him. Butler has a knack for getting to the quarterback. 15 career sacks when he was a 3-time All-MAC performer at Miami, Ohio. Nothing's changed. Still seeking that quarterback.
Or call 1-877-866-8555.
Third down for the Monarchs as we start this fourth quarter. Hayden Wolf's been outstanding on third down. 6 of 8 for 66 yards so far on the day, but it's 3rd and 14 here. Flag down behind the play as he failed to hit Javon Harvey.
The offensive line with his helmet off.
Could be a hands to the face.
Yeah.
Personal foul. Legal hands to the face. Number 10.
Wow.
Defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Wow, that's a big penalty. Ben Smiley.
You see, watch number 63. He gets that head. Yeah, just, you know, Smiley gets that hand up in there from that angle. It's tough to see what Smiley does, but man, you know, penalties, turnovers. We saw Smiley leave the field earlier. Good to see him back on the field. Speaking of which, Cam Butler also back on the field after we watched him gruesomely get his hand realigned on the sideline.
Exactly. Back in there, though. Wolf now to throw on first down. Has time and has a receiver. Caught.
Wow. Wow. Oh, my goodness. What?
Isaiah Spencer, these tight ends again.
What concentration. Let's see this look. You know, that coverage is fantastic, but that concentration and I don't know.
Yeah, they're going to review that one. That might not stand. Yeah, you'll see the ball. He makes initially the catch mark, but then when he hits the ground, you can see the ball squirt a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get the final word from our replay official. You make the call at home.
Moving.
Overshoots him.
Yeah, great coverage. Lex Long again. We asked the coaches, you know, whether they wanted Lex Long to be on Zach Kuntz. Lex Long, 6'3", 215-pound free safety. He's not matched up on him every single play, but that was really good coverage on him. And
so the replay ruling that the pass was incomplete, overturning the call on the field, and that incompletion now leads to 3rd and 10. 3rd and 15.
Number 53, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
That time Kadiri Kunta, the guilty party. Untimely, not that any false start is ever timely, but now 3rd and 15 from your own 29. Wolf has been uncanny in finding ways to convert these 3rd downs, but these are tough.
yeah, and you got to make sure you don't turn the ball over. You don't force the ball in. Give UVA hope. At worst, you punt the ball away.
Wolf might get a face mask here. No, doesn't. Looking for one, but won't get the flag. Instead, it's a sack by Faumui, and it's going to force a punt.
And it did look like he got his hand up in the face mask area. That's
wow,
that
is
a face mask.
Tough to miss that call. I saw it from all the way up here. But Virginia gets a big break, and they'll get the ball back. Thought it was going to be another case where a penalty extended the drive. Instead, it was a loud possession for ODU, and it ends up getting the ball back to Davies from his 32. Dances away from the first wave, brought down at the 42. Three turnovers on the day for Virginia. It's thwarted a lot of their scoring opportunities. All 3 were in the red zone. The penalties and the turnovers, Mark, you got to think as frustrating a day as it's been. You're here at home. You're up by 3 here, early 4th quarter. Just put together a drive. Put together a sustained drive and get points on the back end of it to right the ship. Xavier Brown. He bounces it outside. Has room. Leapfrogs the defender. Gets to the 49. What's going on in the field, Larisha?
Well, linebacker Jason Henderson, who has been very influential in this ODU defense, he has been on the sideline. I saw him in the medical tent receiving fluids via IV. His status right now is unknown. I'll have more for you guys soon.
Yeah, thanks, Larissa. You got to get him in there if they want to stay in this game. Down 3 in the 4th. Armstrong to throw. Thompson, so great after the catch. Makes one defender miss and still on his feet. Gets an extra 2 or 3 yards.
And there's certain guys when you have them on your team, it's almost a requirement. You need to get him a touch every single drive. And you mentioned good after the catch. He led the nation in terms of missed tackles forced by a wide receiver last year. And you say it's just impossible to bring him down with the first guy because he's so strong and so agile.
First down, give to Xavier Brown. Powering his way for 6 yards. Henderson back out there on the field, makes the tackle.
And Chris, you talk about putting together sustained drives. They have been able to get yardage. I mean, they really have. Whether it's been on this type of run play or mostly run plays, quite honestly, or getting it to Keaton Thompson. But it's been the turnovers. I mean, you look at the yardage gain. Virginia has like 120 more yards gained in this game, but these turnovers have just been absolutely costly.
Good spot here, 2nd and 5. Armstrong looking to throw. Near side, tries to get it to Lavelle. Crowd wanted a flag, won't get it. Lavelle Davis there on the edge and Trey Hawkins. That's 6'7" versus 6'3" battling out there.
Yeah, and it's a physical cover on the outside by Trey Hawkins. Had a one-on-one with Wicks at the top, who was running a streak route. And again, that's going to be the next development of Lavelle Davis's game, of being able to use his body without pushing off and getting back to those curl routes. We've seen 2 today where he's just unable to get off of the defender.
Now 3rd and 5. Thompson in motion. Sidearm throw, gets it to Thompson. He's close to the first down. The extra effort may have gotten it for him.
You know how hard it was for Keaton Thompson to get that football? I mean, the ball was snapped. He had to jump over an offensive lineman. He had to get around a defender holding him.
The officials mark it almost an entire yard short of the stick.
And Virginia's going fast.
Moving on the field, the ball carrier was stopped short of the line of game. Previous play is under further review.
All right, they'll review this. Meanwhile, Keaton Thompson is probably more concerned with handing the ball off or sneaking it for this extra yard to pick up the first down on 4th down from the ODU 30.
And you're back in that wishbone formation. Had some success running the ball in that last drive.
He keeps it, and he'll pick up the first down and lower his shoulder and fall forward for a couple more. That's Brendan Armstrong right there in a nutshell.
And what a vote of confidence for Des Kitchens and Tony Elliott to keep the ball in their quarterback's hands. Understanding, look, he's had fumble issues obviously in this game, but when it comes down to it, we want the ball in our best player's hand in the key moments, and great job by Brennan converting.
And nice job by Sackett Wood, the tight end, too, sealing that block on the edge. First down for Virginia. Now they're going to go back to the run game and back to Brown.
Xavier Brown quietly becoming the leading rusher for this Virginia backfield.
True freshman out of Lexington, Kentucky.
Averaging 10.8 yards per carry. Pretty good.
Back in there with a fresh set of downs. Ball in the 12. Avoids the tackle in the backfield. Still on his feet. That's actually a great 3-yard run. Could have easily been dropped for a loss.
Yeah, it's a great run. Again, you mentioned it. That could have been a 2-yard loss. Good job of getting skinny, getting up through the line of scrimmage. And now you're in phase. 4 yards on first down. Now you can run the ball again if you want. You can throw it, pass it out to Wicks, who's lined up at the bottom of your screen, man-to-man.
Armstrong under center. Pitch to Brown. All kinds of blocking in front of him, but a flag as well inside the 5. Let's see if it stands.
Offense, number 67, 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Derek Devine. Let's check it out, Mark.
Yeah, you see the right guard. Again, good penetration up front by Alonzo Ford, number 5, and he's doing everything he can not to give up a TFL, but the holding call is going to back you up.
Red zone woes continue for Virginia. Not that they won't or can't score on this possession, but now it's that much more difficult. They're on the 19.
Keaton Thompson, the number 3 receiver, towards the top of your screen.
Armstrong to throw, looking that way. Now he tucks it to run. Has room and a blocker in front. Gets down to about the 11. Denzel Lowry coming back from his D-tackle position to make the stop.
And watch here, they're going for Thompson. Good job of moving out there by the linebacker. And Brendan Armstrong, great job recognizing the situation, seeing the gap up front, picking up yards, but still, I mean, even with that game, it's 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, they can pick up a first down in the 2 on the 10th play of this drive.
And when you have a 6'7" wide receiver, you want to be able to throw it. There's not a lot of confidence in him today.
Pressure up the middle, gets rid of it, and can't complete it. Monarchs timed that pressure to perfection, forced Armstrong to get rid of it before he wanted to, and couldn't hook up with Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson run the low route, Lavelle Davis running the high route, but you mentioned, great job by Blake Seiler dialing up pressure on that 3rd down and 10. ODU, they've been good at blocking kicks.
Right.
They've blocked 2 extra points against ECU.
They blocked 6 last year. Farrell from 30 yards. And he nails it. And they could use a big return from James. Instead, they get big kick from Brendan Farell for Virginia, and it sails out of the back of the end zone. Mark, you know, they only have 7 points on the board, and that touchdown came late in the first half when they started throwing the football. You got to think here at this 8:37 mark, they got to come out aggressive here on this drive, don't you think?
Yeah, and you know, I'm not really sure why they haven't, right? It worked really well. Obviously, you're in a 2-minute drive, you need to do it, but you know, as the run starts getting shut down, you just got to get away from doing the 1st and 2nd down run passing on 3rd down. You got to mix in a play action pass on 1st or 2nd down, and you got. I mean, you can create mismatches.
58 yards of total offense on 4 drives in this second half. Wolf to throw on 1st down. High in the air, and it's incomplete. Probably a smart move, even though he may not have done it on purpose, that Watson let that ball fall incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, and he had his tight end. Again, another snag 7 route. You get that to him right away. Not enough time, but again, another good defensive play.
Lex Long was there, right?
Yep.
2nd down and 10. They'll run with Watson, and he picks up good yardage. Picks up 6.
Yeah, and Chris, I like it. 1st down, you do a quick pass. You know, high percentage pass. If you don't make it, okay, but you're loosening up the defense. They're not knowing you're going to run the ball. You come back on 2nd down. Now you're setting up a 3rd and 4 where you can target your top receivers. Again, you see tight end, top of your screen, with Allie Jennings on the same side of the football. Same formation they scored the touchdown on.
Cavaliers bring just 4. Now Wolf pressure gets to him. Chico Bennett.
Nice job defensively, changing things up by John Radzinski, the defensive coordinator. ODU went back to that same play, trying to get a matchup with Allie Jennings on a linebacker. They showed one thing, came back with a different zone coverage, forced Hayden Wolf to check the ball down, and allowed enough time for that man right there, Chico Bennett, to get a sack.
Looked like Chris Adams may have gotten rolled up on. That's him on the field. obviously in some pain as they check that left ankle. This could be the third 3 and out in this second half for ODU, and you got to give credit to that Virginia defense.
You see him on the bottom of the screen right there, getting rolled up right at the end, and wear those knee braces to protect against that. Chris Adams, he didn't start last week or the week before, but he had some issues at the guard position with some holding penalties. So he stepped in and played well so far in this game. Hope he's all right.
I mean, you got to think at this point that Ricky Ronnie is going to opt. He's going to punt it away at 7:41, lean on his defense to get the ball back. That's exactly what he's going to do. Ethan Davies back at his 34. Busy day.
Yeah, and Chris, you know, where we talked about end of the first half, beginning of the second half, momentum was all on ODU's side. But because of Virginia's defense and their ability to create some sacks and force punts and 3 and outs, it really feels like the momentum's on Virginia's side now. Now they just need to put the ball in the end zone.
Wahoos 7:25 away from going 2-1 on the year. All right, JC, good thing that Jordan's too busy worrying about the Bachelor reunion and not focusing on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish today, but that's a story for a different time. What we've got right here is Virginia trying to salt this one away. Underneath, Grant Mish on the receiving end. Larisha and I saw his entire family walking into the stadium earlier today. He's had a good game, a couple of touches. Now it's a matter of moving the sticks and moving this clock for the Cavaliers.
Good job on the bootleg. Again, you might loosen up the defense, see if they go back to the run here on second down. It has been working for them.
Jones in the backfield. Armstrong will throw. A little bit of pressure on the outside. Thompson. Even when he falls forward, he gives you an extra 2 yards just by falling forward.
Yeah, right now he's playing the best football on this Virginia offense.
7 catches. We make that 8 catches for him. 106 yards. This is a big third down right here. ODU needs to get off the field. Look at the pressure they're showing. Have movement. Now it's going to be 3rd and 7. That pressure got to him, didn't it?
Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down. Power offensive line move prior to the ball being snapped.
Yep. Except for 76. Basically, 76 knew the snap count. Well, 3rd and 7.
You looking for number 99 here?
Yeah, I'm looking for 99. If I don't have him, I'm also understanding, okay, is it man? Where are the linebackers? Are they going away? And do I have room to scramble as a QB?
Jones is in the backfield, high snap. All kinds of pressure coming, but it's picked up. Thompson makes the catch.
And that's why you throw him the football. I mean, he's gonna come down with it. You know, 13 targets, 9 receptions. Like, again, it's good coverage. It's a poorly thrown football. It's too high, but Keaton Thompson will go up and make that catch. You know, again, Wicks has got to start getting on the same page, because you look at the amount of catch percentage for Thompson. He's catching 9 of 13. We mentioned Wicks. He's been targeted 12 times, only 4 catches. So at least one of these things is working well.
Bad news for Chris Adams. We're seeing him carted off. There's it. See now, that's Lavelle. That's a good route, good throw. Lavelle Davis makes the catch, another 1st down.
Good response by Lavelle Davis. 2 of the prior times the ball went his way on the comeback routes. He got stuck on the defender. Good job of coming back. Keaton Thompson on the sideline getting worked on.
Xavier Brown now back in the game at tailback, just behind Armstrong. give to him. Oh, look out. 35, 30, slides down to stay inbounds at the 23. Smart play.
And he just bounces. Good job bouncing outside, and poor job by ODU maintaining leverage on the football. That's been, I mean, I can't tell you how many times we've seen number 20 circle around the defense. He's got those wheels. I mean, he's having a phenomenal day. 85 yards so far on the day for the true freshman.
Got a lead blocker in front of him. Give him 2 on first down. As that clock winds inside of 4 minutes. Any type of score here, Mark, with Old Dominion's issues offensively is positive for Virginia, and something that man right there is keeping in mind. So at the 20 now, when you're in field goal range, how conservative do you want to become here? Keaton Thompson back in the game, by the way, 99.
Yeah, I mean, I think you are conservative. I think, you possibly call a play action play, maybe a bootleg, the left-handed quarterback, but you've turned the ball over so many times, you got to be careful.
There's the bootleg. Looking for Thompson, can't find him. Now he's just going to keep it himself and slides down to stay in bounds. Boy, Henderson playing with fire that time, no call. Just so you know, by 1 yard, there you go. Brennan Armstrong pass match job. He's the all-time leading passer in Virginia history.
17 seconds on the clock. 3:17. 30-second timeout.
ODU calls the timeout. They still have 2 left on the board, but now it's a matter of, it's a desperation time for them defensively. Yeah,
you're in a situation where you've really slow played the entire second half offensively. You came out and you did a lot of run plays, and again, you were still in the game and you had confidence in your defense, but Virginia, and again, a lot was made of the inexperienced offensive line coming into this game. We hit on it a bunch in the open in the first quarter, but when it's counted, right, the ground game, getting the yardage on the ground, Virginia has 218 yards rushing. And yes, the running backs have played well, but you got to put that on the offensive line. Good job by them stepping up in this game and allowing Virginia to move the ball effectively when the passing game's not working.
3rd down and 5. Armstrong to throw. Looking for Davis. Makes the catch as he inbounds. No. Trey Hawkins on the defense. Hawkins is a big 6'3" corner. Not even close.
No. Ball was thrown just way too far outside. No shot for Lavelle Davis to come down with that one.
So here it is for Farell.
And remember, we mentioned it before.
The block.
Watch 42. Jason Henderson. He snuck through one of those C gaps and blocked one. And look at Virginia. I mean, Tony Elliott's losing his mind.
That's the second charge timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Tony Elliott is losing his mind. This is a potential game-sealing field goal, and his guys are not ready to run out in the field for the field goal team.
Had to use a timeout. Farell today 2 for 2 in his career, 12 for 12 on field goals inside of 40 yards. Every Virginia fan out there right now is saying, why? Why did you just say that, you idiot? That's what I'm here for.
Yep. Well, they'll remember before, that stat used to be
right.
He had not missed a kick inside of 43 yards until he missed a 41-yarder against Illinois, and so that stat has to change.
He's got this.
There you go.
Unless that guy gets a beat hook on it.
And you talk about Farrell, right? Farrell's a guy during fall camp. You talk about under pressure. Coach Elliott went in the huddle, said, if he makes this 48-yarder, I'm giving him a scholarship. He banged it through, earned a scholarship. Here he is for a 36-yarder to win it.
Pushed it.
Oh
Pushed it wide right. Broadcaster jinx. Head down for Tony Elliott. You know what? He's leaned on his defense all day long, especially here in the second half. Why not win it with your defense?
Yep. You know, right as we said, obviously, you know, it's not, there's still a lot of time left in the game, a lot of things left to happen, but with the way that ODU was moving the ball offensively, it felt like if this one went through, it might be too big of a lead to come back
and new life for that man right there, Ricky Ronnie.
All right. All right.
Once again, I will ask you. Obviously, you can't be conservative here. I mean, on first down.
No, and top of the screen again. This is where the two best receivers are. It's Kuntz and Ali Jennings right there, top of your screen.
Wolf to pass. To Kuntz, just too high.
Yeah, and you got, again, you don't want to go into a game saying we're going to have to match up, but I need Lex Long covering Kuntz every single play. It's too important. Lex Long has done it phenomenally. He was on that coverage right there. And what was a completion on the same play in the first half, Lex Long just took away.
Still 2 timeouts on the board for the Monarchs. Virginia, as they've done all afternoon, bringing just 4. And they get pressure there, bringing just the 4. Completion, but for very minimal gain. Granger hauled it in, but Nick Jackson dropped him for a 2-yard gain.
Well, Virginia's trying to sub, and ODU did not sub.
Virginia got away with it. Tough pass, and really no chance. I mean, Anthony Johnson with outstanding coverage on the outside.
Yeah, and you gotta love the change of mentality by Virginia defensively. This was a completion 4 times already in this game. Now when it counts, Anthony Johnson steps up, makes a huge play on the football, brings up 4th down, gotta have it.
4th and 8. Wolf looks over to the sideline, gets the call. He's got Watson in the backfield with him. Kuntz makes the catch.
He's very good. He is a very good tight end, and that ball was thrown so well. Good job protection up front. And it's a great pass and catch.
22 yards to keep the Monarchs' hopes alive. Now Wolf to throw, play action. Little pressure on the edge. Jennings, he makes the catch inside the 40. Going to their big weapons on consecutive plays, and they're in business. Now a Virginia player is down.
And let's hope he's all right. That's the second time Smiley has gone down.
Let's take a look at that route by Jennings.
Broke off the route right, great job. And the ball's delivered right on time. And I mean, you know, all right, Smiley is walking off the field. Looks like he's not hurt at all, which is interesting.
Don't forget Wake Forest Liberty coming up next. Got Duke and North Carolina A&T at 6 o'clock on ACC Network Extra. Then number 5, Clemson hosting Louisiana Tech in Death Valley at 8 o'clock. It's all still to come here today on the ACC Network and streaming on the ESPN app. 40 yards on back-to-back plays, Mark. ODU had 58 the entire rest of this second half leading up to this drive.
Yeah, and kind of, you know, obviously not lucky that there's an injury, but glad he came off. But nice rest time for Virginia defensively to gather themselves. Now bottom of your screen, that's where you have 80 and 0.
Wolf has time. Jennings curls it back inside to the 27. Monarchs have 2 timeouts still on the board. Clock just under 2 minutes rather, so plenty of time. Got to score a touchdown. Now on the run. That's Watson. Give him about 4, down to the 25.
Minute 30, got plenty of time left. 2 timeouts left offensively.
Wolf, play action. Virginia brings extra attention, and that ball just falls incomplete.
Yeah, and he was trying to pull that one back in.
Just slipped out.
Very similar to the first half, where it was initially ruled a fumble. Incomplete pass.
3rd down and 6. Obviously, we're in 4-down territory here, and obviously ODU's got to put it in the end zone.
All
Fans
right.
on their feet at Scott Stadium.
Here we go.
Once again, you've got Jennings and Kuntz on the bottom of your screen.
And you got Lex Long over there, over top, playing safety. That's where you want him.
Virginia showing a little bit of pressure.
But no inside help. There's no one over the middle of the ball. Let's see if a linebacker pops out.
Kuntz in motion, and we'll get a timeout.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Full 3rd down.
Ronnie couldn't get the timeout in time. Delay of game. Wow, what a wild game we have here. And it just, I mean, it looked like Virginia so often was going to be able to salt it away. No chance. Right now, ODU has a great opportunity.
It's a fun one. Big play after big play on this drive for ODU. They need more. They need another.
Wolf, Kuntz, can he avoid the tackler? No, he cannot. That's Long again with a huge play.
Lex Long has made the difference for this Virginia defense in the second half.
Timeout for ODU. Mark, I wonder how big of a play this would be if Long doesn't make the tackle.
I mean, look at him. He has to come all the way across the field. I mean, it's a good drive trying to run him through traffic. They know that he is man-to-man on Kuntz, but just a great job of coming downhill and making the tackle. I mean, if Virginia can come out with this win, Lex Long, he's got to be the MVP of this game.
Especially because time and time again, Tony Elliott, John Rosinski, they've had to lean on this defense to keep them in the lead in this game.
They have, and gosh.
Here it is, 4th and 15, coming out of the timeout. Monarchs got to get to the 18. Watson in the backfield with Wolf.
Lex Long's in a position to chip here.
They bring pressure. Wolf's got to get rid of it. He does. Receiver falls
PI.
down.
That's pass interference.
And the flags come. Anthony Johnson was in coverage with Jennings. And he brought him down.
Pass interference. Defense, number 3. Automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
Watch Jennings, a little double move. Good job of patting those feet and really being patient. And
obvious call.
it's, you know, and then that situation, Anthony Johnson understands, look, I'm here all by myself. If I don't take him down, that's a touchdown.
Right, so smart play on his part. But
Preservation play.
yes, fresh set of downs again for ODU. Bailed out by a penalty.
And you got to wonder, like, is Hayden Wolf going to go anywhere else besides 0 and 80?
He does, to the far side, to Page. Incomplete.
I mean, you know, at some point, you're getting everybody in the stadium, everybody, you know, wearing dark blue, looking at 0 and 80, and good job of just even, okay, it wasn't a completion, but now there's a threat of someone else making a play.
2nd and 10. Again, still plenty of time on the clock. They've got a timeout on the board from the 18. Wolf to throw, has Watson in the flat. To Kuntz for the score!
got him. Got him, got him, got him. There's only so many times you can ask Lex Long and Anthony Johnson to step up defensively. I mean, it just, great route. Lex Long got a little bit too deep in his coverage. And
you know he's getting the ball. You know it's going to him.
And, you know, just good. It's just a good route. Good break off.
Okay, now the extra point. Ethan Sanchez, yeah, this is big. Good snap, good hold. Sanchez puts it through. With 1 minute and 1 second left to go, the Monarchs have taken the lead. 11 plays, 80 yards in 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Yeah, of course Ricky Ronnie is fired up. Of course they're gonna strike up the band. What a drive. And for that man right there, Tony Elliott, not all is lost.
And just, good head fake by the tight end. Gave the little shoulder fake inside. And, I mean, it's, again, you're so impressed with Lex Long. It's almost, how do you, it's so hard. He's got a two-way go on you. How do you cover a guy like that man-to-man? It's just, it's an offensive coordinator understanding his threats and just going back to the well over and over.
Okay, now Des Kitchings, Tony Elliott, it's in their court, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and again, right, if this was last year and Brennan Armstrong was on fire like he always was, you say, oh, a minute? That's so much time. He's got plenty of time to move the ball downfield. And last drive, he was starting to find his guys. Keaton Thompson got involved. Lavelle Davis got involved.
Jameek Starling. Will he try to make something happen? He will, out of the end zone. 20, 30. Great starting field position for Virginia.
All right.
One timeout on the board, 55 seconds remaining. They just need a field goal to retake the lead. What were we talking earlier about leadership and Armstrong?
Yep.
It's got to come through here.
It's got to come through, and especially in this situation. You know the ball's going to be in your hands. You get to make the decisions. Where do you go with the football?
And as we knew that it was going to go to 80 for the Monarchs, it's got to go to 99 early and often on this drive for Virginia.
At some point.
Armstrong looking that way. Fires that way, incomplete.
And it's Dontavian Wicks' fault, quite honestly. He had a clear out route. He was slow in running his route, knew he wasn't going to get the football, did not clear his defender out, and his defender was able to fall off and make that contact on Keaton Thompson.
2nd down and 10. Armstrong to throw. Over the middle, has Lavelle inside the 35 to the 32. Kennedy on the stop. Armstrong had all kinds of time to look to the left, find Lavelle, Davis on the right, and a big completion. Armstrong. Flushed out of the pocket, he can run, and he's going to pick up positive yardage. A lot of it inside the 25, close to the 20.
Brennan Armstrong. Man.
Now what's the strategy? Inside of 25 seconds. Paris Jones is the tailback. Armstrong still throwing. Going to the end zone for Wicks. Flags all over the place.
Let's see. That ball goes up and
May not have been catchable, Mark, but either way, yeah, Wicks has got to give him a shot at it.
yeah, and again, it potentially could have been catchable, but That's that same deep ball pass that he missed on earlier. Man,
This is also Tony Elliott and Virginia leery of the kick blocking prowess of ODU, don't you think?
Yeah, well,
going to the end zone there.
And you just set up a field goal for your kicker who missed it. And, you know, again, if you're going to throw it deep, throw it out of bounds at least, or give your receiver a chance to make a play.
Wicks had a chance there and couldn't come down with it. Harris with another good defensive play.
Ball's up there. It just isn't finding the hands of Wicks. And not that would have been an easy catch, but with the defender's back turned towards you and with the height difference, you want to be able to make that football play. And, you know, wouldn't be surprised if you get a bootleg or something here again to try to get a scramble rollout.
Instead, it's Armstrong putting the ball in the middle of the field for Farell. They'll let the clock wind all the way down and call the final timeout with 2 seconds. Moments ago, Farell with a chance to put Virginia up 9 at that point, pushed it wide right. ODU came right down the field and scored the go-ahead touchdown, but Farell with an opportunity at retribution right now.
And what a drive by Brennan Armstrong, with all the talk about the performance that he's had up into that drive. Not very accurate with his throws. Coaches challenged him on his leadership. He comes out with 1 minute left to go on the clock. He picks apart ODU's defense in the air and then uses his legs to set up a potentially game-winning field goal by Brendan Farell. And look, big tight end, number 80, is in the game at 6'8" to try to block this straight up the middle.
Right up the middle. Snap, hold, kick, good. Cavaliers win it.
And how about that? Brendan Farell kicked it through, but it was that man right there. B.A. Brendan Armstrong that stepped up big when his team needed him most.